Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Today's lesson is going to be about inscribed angles. As we continue to talk about circles and their different angle relationships. So what I'm doing this time is just taking questions directly from the IXLs that you need to do and doing some practice problems like that you can apply to your own IXLs. So here we go. This question, we want to find what is the measure of angle T. So we want to find the measure of this angle here. So angle T intercepts this arc, arc SQ. So those are going to have the same angle relationships, the same angle measures. But here, this inscribed angle is 68 degrees. So the way that we use inscribed angles is if I have the angle and I'm going to the arc, I multiply by 2. So 68 times 2 gives me 136. So that means that this arc is 136 degrees. And I know from our last lesson that the arc measure and the central angle are congruent. So these are equal to each other. So that means that the measure of angle T, let me scroll down, is 136 degrees. Okay, because I had that inscribed angle of 68 degrees multiplied by 2 to get the arc, which is the same as the central angle. All right, let's try this one. What is the measure of angle STU? So angle STU, I'm looking for this angle. And what I'm given is angle R, the measure of angle R. So if that's 140 degrees, that means that the measure of arc US is also 140 degrees. But I want to find the measure of the central angle right here. So if I'm going from arc to angle, I have to divide by 2. So that's what's different this time. And this is all when it's inscribed. So I do 140 divided by 2 and get 70. So that's 70 degrees. So the measure of angle STU is 70 degrees. All right, so those are the basics. Now here, what is the measure of angle RTS? So I got to go in that order. RTS. I'm looking for this angle right here. All right, so I'm given this 99-degree angle, which intercepts this arc here. RT is 99 degrees. So since ST is the diameter, that means that arc SRT is 180 degrees. So this whole arc would be 180 degrees. So then to figure out the measure here of SR, I do 180 minus 99 to get 81 degrees. So that's my intercepting arc with that angle right there. So I'm going arc to angle. So I'm wondering, is that multiply by 2 or divide by 2? Scroll up to look at our notes from before. Arc to angle, divide by 2. So I'm doing 81 divided by 2. I get a decimal, it's totally fine. 40.5. So the measure of angle RTS is 40.5 degrees. Okay, Okay. Now I'm looking, this is some pretty colors. I'm looking for the measure of, the measure of angle HGI. So tracing that HGI, that's an inscribed angle. All of these are inscribed angles that we're looking at. So first, 143, that's a central angle. So that means this arc is 143 degrees. 97 is a central angle. That means this arc is 97 degrees. This, I don't know, but I could figure out because the whole thing has to be 360 degrees. So I'm just doing 360 minus 143 minus 97. And I get 120. So that means this angle is 120 degrees. And then this arc is also 120 degrees. So I had to do that first before I can go back and find the measure of this angle, HGI. So that inscribed angle corresponds with this arc, IH right here. So I know there's a relationship with 120, and I'm going arc to angle. So let's divide by 2. So 120 divide by 2, I get 60 degrees. So the measure of angle HGI is 60 degrees. Okay, so we're halfway through that first IXL problem set, finding inscribed angles. Let's skip to the next page. You're welcome to pause whenever and replay. Okay, what is the measure of angle EGF? EGF, right here. Okay, so that intercepts with this arc right here, which also has a central angle of 142. So if the central angle is 142, that means that the arc is also 142. But if I want to find that central angle, or I'm sorry, excuse me, if you want to find that inscribed angle, so that's pinched inside, you have to divide by 2. You're going arc to angle. So I do 142 divided by 2, you get 71. So the measure of angle EGF is 71 degrees. Okay, the measure of angle DFE. So we did one like this before. Maybe you can pause and see if you can do this one on your own and then check your answers against mine. So 79 degrees, I know that's a central angle, so arc DF is also going to be 79 degrees. And since EF is a diameter, I know that that adds up to 180. So I'll do 180 minus 79 to get 101. So then this arc is going to be 101 degrees. I want to find that inscribed angle. So I'm going in, dividing by 2. And I get the measure of angle DFE is 50.5 degrees. All right. Now we're just sprinkling in some algebra. It's totally fine. This one's a little bit different. Let's see, the measure of angle H. So the measure of angle H is here, that's 5x. That goes with this arc. Okay, and then I look at the measure of angle G is also another one that I'm given, which also goes with this arc. I can tell because of the bow tie, the way that it looks also. When I draw the angle out fully, you see that sector there? I draw that out fully, I see that there too. So they both intersect the same arc. So that means that they are congruent. So it means I can set them equal to each other and solve the equation. So 17x minus 96 equals 5x. So I can subtract 17x from both sides. Negative 96 equals negative 12x. Divide by negative 12. You get 8, just as I suspected. But that's not your answer because we want to find the measure of angle H. So the measure of angle H is going to be 5 times 8, which is 40 degrees. All right. And then the last one on this problem set, what is the measure of angle VUW? VUW. So we want this inscribed angle. So we already have that central angle, 11x plus 75. And I know if I go from angle to arc, I have to multiply by 2. So the way that I can set this up is 13x times 2 equals 11x plus 75. So I take my inscribed angle and double that. So now I have 26x equals 11x plus 75. I'm going to solve this equation. 15x equals 75. Divide both sides by 15. You get 5. And then we want to check what we're looking for, the measure of angle VUW. So that's 13 times 5. And I haven't done mental math in a while. So that's 65. So the measure of angle VUW is 65 degrees. All right, so you should be doing that IXL to an 80% or better. And that was U.9. So that should be 80% or greater. That's your first assignment for the week. And then your second assignment for the week is U10, angles inscribed in right triangles. So we're only doing 4 with this one because this one, there's only really 2 problem types, either with numbers or algebra, rather than the other one where there were more. So when we look at this, again, U10, angles inscribed in right triangles. When we have this diameter here, EG is a diameter, so that means this is a right angle. And we know that a right angle is 90 degrees. So here, if we're looking for angle G, that means that all of this has to add up to be 180 degrees because it's a triangle. So 90 plus 56 plus, we can call that x for now, equals 180. So if I do 90 plus 56, that's 146. I subtract that from 180, that's 34. And since that's the measure of angle G, the measure of angle G is 34 degrees. All right, this one's pretty much exactly the same, just with different numbers. So we want to know what is the measure of angle I. So we can call that x for now. Since JI is a diameter, that means angle K is a right angle, which is 90 degrees. And we know that the whole triangle is 180 degrees. So we add those all together, 90, 59, and x, that's 180 degrees. So if I do 90 plus 59, that gives me 149, plus x equals 180. Subtract that from 180, and I get 31. So the measure of angle I is 31 degrees. Pretty cool, huh? Sorry, let me get up again. All right, here's our algebra now. What is the value of x? So we don't have to solve for an angle measure, we just have to stop at x. So again, we have IK is the diameter, so that means angle J is a right angle, which is 90 degrees. All right, so let's make our equation set equal to 180 degrees. All right, so we have 90 plus 11x plus 19x equals 180. So we can combine these terms. 90 plus 30x equals 180. Subtract 90 on both sides because that's your constant, because that's your business. And that gives us 90. Divide both sides by 30. And we get x equals 3. That's what we're looking for. Find the value of x. All right, last one. What is the value of x? So again, we're stopping at x. We have FE is a diameter, so angle D is a right angle, which is 90 degrees. Then we have these little tick marks, which mean what? Yeah, that those sides are congruent. So if those sides are congruent, what type of triangle is this? We already know it's a right triangle, but classified by sides. So it's either scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. Yep, so it's isosceles. So if those two sides are congruent, that also means that these two angles are congruent. So if that angle is x minus 42, that means this is also x minus 42. All right, and then still all of them add up to 180. All those angles add up to 180 degrees. So we can still do this in the same way. 90 plus x minus 42 plus x minus 42 equals 180. So I can combine my x's. So that's 2x. Combine these. So that's 90 minus 42 minus 42. So that's 6 plus 6. 2x plus 6 equals 180. Subtract 6 from both sides. 174. Divide both sides by 2. 87. Great year to be born. X equals 87. And if I do 87 minus 42 to check, 87 minus 42 equals 45. So if I do 45 plus 90, that does equal 180, which is what we want. Pretty cool. All right, so that was just your second IXL. IXL U10, and then again, we want to get you to an 80% or higher on that. Remember, we'll see you on Monday or Tuesday for your class period, and then Wednesday we have office hours at 1:30 p.m. Hope to see you all soon. Take care, be safe. Miss you. Bye.